Hello and welcome to another SkaredCast tactical series. Today we continue the look at the new Harlequins Codex with the first entry, the Harlequin Troupe. Let's begin. Hello and welcome to another Tactical Corner. Haven't done one of these in a while, and today we're continuing to look at the Harlequins Codex with the Troupe. So as all my tactical videos, I'll kind of explain the Troupe a little bit, read a bit of the fluff, then dive a little deeper into the options as well. If you haven't seen the unboxing video for the Harlequin book, check the links down below to the other tactical videos and unboxings on the channel. Celebrating 7,000 subscribers, let's dive right into the nitty-gritty, shall we? I'm also trying a different video filming form, so give me a comment down below. Let me know how you like it. So, let's get started. The Troupe. In battle, Harlequin troops move fast and hit hard, relying on speed and skill to annihilate the enemy before they even have time to raise their guns. Preferring to evade harm than endure it, every player is equipped with a holosuit that fragments their outline into a storm of coloured shards, confounding their foes' aim. Once in combat, the Harlequins are in their element, performing a lethal dance of death while their masks shimmer with the foe's worst fears. The players cut their panicked victims to pieces using an array of horrific, yet strangely beautiful weapons. Every pinpoint blade, thrust, and whipcord kick an act of worship to the laughing god. So we start with the Troupe. A Troupe is a basic troop choice in the Harlequin mask, and a Troupe consists of at least 4 players and 1 Harlequin troop master. Now, they're akin to the Craftworld Eldar aspect warriors. So they're 95 points for 5 models, and the basic player is weapon skill 5, so better than your average Eldar even. Toughness and strength 3 and ballistic skill 4, so average Eldar with 1 wound. High initiative 6 like a witch. 2 attacks base and leadership 9 with no armor save, except the holofield gives them a 5+ invulnerable save. The troop master is the squad leader. Gets an extra weapon skill, so he's weapon skill 6, rivaling chapter masters and autarchs themselves. Also ballistic skill 5, so better ballistic skill. Same strength and toughness as your regular Eldar at 3, and then 2 wounds. They are initiative 7, so even faster, almost as fast as Succubus. Now, not as fast, but really fast. And 3 base attacks with a leadership of 10. That means they don't run very often. As for war gear, they have a holosuit. Now, a holosuit has a couple of things. First of all, it's a 5+ invulnerable save. Secondly, any character in a unit that has a holosuit or a holosuit with a character passes lookouts or rolls on a 2+, which means even though the troop master is not an independent character, lookouts or rolls are on 2+ for the character. They also come with a shuriken pistol, a close combat weapon, plasma grenades, and something called a flip belt. The flip belt might actually be the thing that does a 2+ lookout, sir. But it also means that Harlequins ignore terrain when moving whatsoever. So they just don't terrain, they don't take penalties for charging, they don't, take dangerous terrain tests, they don't, that sort of thing. They just ignore terrain as they move, which is pretty freaking cool. As for special rules, they cause fear. Most Marines don't care, but other Xenos armies might. They do have fleet. They do have furious charge, which means they go up to strength 4 on the charge, which is important. And they do have hit and run as a base rule, which means it's hard to lock them down in combat and bog them down. Considering Harlequin armies are small, you want to definitely give them a chance to bounce around and get out of unfavorable combats as well. Now, options are, you may include up to 7 additional players. So they start with 5 and they can go up to 13 players, like 13 in total, at 15 points per model. Any model may replace their shuriken pistol with one of the following: a neurodisruptor or a fusion pistol. Quite expensive, but they can work. Any model can replace their close combat weapon with one of the following: either a Harlequins Embrace, a Harlequins Kiss, or a Harlequins Caress for a point increase. The Troupe Master can have a power sword if he wants, 15 points. He can take Haywire Grenades at 5 points. That's a fantastic option. And the Troupe Master can take one of the items from the Enigmas of the Black Library. Now, they can also select a Starweaver as a dedicated transport, which is kind of like a Venom, but carries 6 models and has 2 shuriken cannons for shooting. So all in all, it's a very basic, like, witch squad, if you were to compare them to Dark Eldar. And as a new general, if you're looking at Harlequins and you're wondering what to use, this is going to be the bread and potatoes, the meat and potatoes of your Harlequin list. Now, it's very easy to start spending a lot of points on Harlequin troops, and I would recommend that you make them very specific towards a role. And you do this with their upgraded weapons. You can have the Harlequins Kiss, you can have the Harlequins Embrace, or the Harlequins Caress. Now, each of these has a different use, and I like all of them. The classic is the Harlequins Kiss. Now, it's a little bit different than it was before, but they can make 1 special attack per model at strength 6 AP2, and on a roll of a 6 to wound, it causes instant death. So that can be really helpful against things like monstrous creatures, gargantuan creatures, things like that. If you roll that instant death, you can do additional wounds. Strength 6 AP2 is nothing to scoff at, because even tanks can get scared at the strength 6 AP2. And it's just an all-rounder. It's not very expensive at 5 points per model, and I usually run the Harlequins Kisses. The Harlequins Embrace is a little different. It gives the Harlequin D3 Strength 6 Hammer of Wrath attacks when it charges. And I really like this. It's very good against hordes of opponents to force a lot of armor saves, especially if you're going to get the charge, which is what most Harlequins want to do. So, even having 1 unit with Kisses and 1 unit with Embraces is the same point value. They're interchangeable, but they have a very different role. They might not be as good as against tanks, because Hammer of Wrath hits the armor facing that you attack, but it definitely makes it a lot scarier against like your average tougher troops like Space Marines or Bikers by forcing lots of armor saves on them as well. Last but not least, we have the Harlequins Caress, the most expensive upgrade, but statistically speaking, I really like the dynamic. On a 6 to hit, it automatically wounds, which cuts out a whole dice rolling phase. You don't even have to roll to wound. It just, on a 6 to hit, you automatically wound. I love that. I think it's fantastic. That's why it's more expensive. Statistically speaking, not even having to roll to wound just cuts out that whole statistics phase and just increases the chance of you doing damage by that much. It also means on a 6 to hit, automatic glancing hit against tanks. So it's really good to take out light tanks with hull points and things like that. Now, it is more expensive. It's about a third more expensive, which means you're spending more points on the unit. But it does make the unit a lot more all-rounded in terms of being able to deal with tanks and heavy infantry and monstrous creatures all together. The fluff is that their hand can literally just go in and pluck the heart out of whoever they're attacking. It's like a phase hand, which is pretty cool when you look at the fluff. All in all, you want to make sure that your Harlequin troops don't get shot at. That's where the characters come into play with Veil of Tears, putting them in a Starweaver as a dedicated transport, and using the different formations out of the book in order to get the most out of your Harlequin troop. They're not a Space Marine. You cannot play them like Space Marines. They will die a horrible, hideous death if they get shot at by things like bolters or flamers even. A 5+ invulnerable save isn't anything that you can write home about, but proper use means that this unit hits like a ton of bricks. It will shit all over your face and your opponent's face if used properly, but if misused, it'll be the biggest point sink in your army. So make sure that you keep them focused, you know how to use them in it by avoiding them getting damaged using either psychic powers, which we'll get into at a later video. But at the same time, miniature-wise and hobby-wise for the Harlequins, they're probably your meat and potatoes. They look awesome, they are going to be a pleasure to paint for you, and if you use them properly, they will cause your opponent a world of hurt. So, let me know down below what options you like to run, how big you like to run your squads. I personally like Haywire Grenades and Harlequins Kisses, and I run them in 5 or 6 man units. I don't like spending too much on the Harlequins. But have you ever run a big unit? Do you run them with a Shadow Seer to cast Veil of Tears? Let me know down below. Check out the channel, subscribe if you haven't already, share this video if you want to tell a friend about Harlequins, and thanks a lot to all of you who like, share and subscribe. I appreciate it for my little hobby channel, SkaredCast, and we'll see you on the other end of the webway. This is your grateful host, Skari, and next time we'll be looking at the use of the Death Jester. By the way, love that model. Thanks a lot. And this is Skari, out.